Welcome to Chair Yoga Plus. Today we talk about transitions. Now we have many transitions in our yoga practice that carry over into our daily lives. We want to be aware of our body in the space around us, and we also want to be mindful of the direction in which we're going. So if we're going to turn to one side, we look to that side and then we come back, and that's a transition. Notice what's happening with my ankles. I'm stepping out, putting my weight in the standing leg, turning and lifting that back heel so that I don't twist an ankle here. So we want flexibility in the ankles, in the hips, and the legs for those kinds of transitions. Another type of transitions is when we reach up for something on a top shelf, or we reach forward to bring something, carry something, or transition it to another spot. For example, from the stove to the sink. And we use the lower muscles and we use the upper body here in those transitions. But most importantly, we use our eyes so that we know where we're going. So let's practice transitions in our practice today that will strengthen the muscles we use in our daily lives. Coming into the chair, our first transition is to just lower ourselves down into the chair. Notice what happens when you stand and then sit again. Discover what muscles you're using. Try it again. Observe how you shifted your weight into your feet, and now you're pushing your booty back, controlling the core muscles to lower yourself into the seat. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to strengthen those core muscles. Come about halfway in your chair, make sure you're well supported, and we'll place our hands on our hips and just start by lifting one leg and then the other, just as if you were marching here in your chair. Lift those knees high. The higher you can lift, the stronger you're going to make the core muscles, the lower abs. Lift on one side and kick the leg out and hold it there for a second. Lift your heart and then bring it back and in. Let's try it on the other side. So we sit tall, shoulders over hips, and we lift that knee in and kick it straight. Hold it there for a breath, and then bring it in and down. And it doesn't matter how high you lift it. So let's try it again. Lift the knee as high as you are able. Kick it straight as you are able. Hold it there. Sit tall. Bring it in and lower it down. Other side. Good work here. So you can feel how you're using the strength of your lower abs here to control the movement of that leg. Let's lift one foot and circle the toes around. Now when you circle the toes, make sure you feel it in the ankle because we want flexible ankles here. Circle in the other direction. Now point and flex. So this is the muscle or muscles around the ankle that we're making nice and strong and flexible so that as we move through our day, we don't stumble over our own feet. Let's try it on the other side. First we circle and in the other direction. Now point and flex. And anytime you're sitting during the day, it's a good idea to do a couple of these ankle circles or flexing of the foot back and forth to keep the ankles nice and flexible. So let's step out to the side and we're going to turn in that direction. So using your eyes, you look in that direction and the body will follow. So we have one foot on the side of the chair, the other knee straight down. Let's take this outside arm and reach it forward, leaning into that leg in front of you, supporting yourself and looking to where you're reaching. And then draw it back, follow the hand, look over your shoulder. Again. Now this is a movement we might do during the day, but not as exaggerated. But we are strengthening those core muscles on the side of the ribs. more. And then we'll bring it center and we'll circle, keeping the shoulders nice and flexible here. And let's circle in the other direction, turning the palm out. Letting the arm be loose and flexible here. And then down. Extend both arms in opposite directions and sit tall. Notice how reaching in both directions strengthens the muscles around your ribs. Can you feel that? Release. Let's do it again. Reach out. Feel those muscles engage and release. Very nice. Now step the outside leg into the center. Step the other leg into the center as you pivot in your chair to the front. And just shift your weight now, hip to hip. Notice how shifting your weight in your seat also is shifting the weight in your feet. And then pause. So it's just building your awareness here now of that weight shift and what muscles you're using. Let's step out to the other side and turn in that direction. And we're going to look in that direction because that's where we were moving. And the other leg can be down on the outside of the chair. Support yourself on the thigh that's on the side. And we reach again. Follow the hand. Look over your shoulder. Use your eyes here to follow this movement. Two more. Reach. Feel the ribs. Yes, feel the muscles around the ribs. And then down and let's circle. And reverse that circle. One more. And down. And then we step the outside foot in, we pivot to the front of the chair, and we rock side to side, just noticing how that feels. Now, adding to all of that is a yoga sequence that uses the core. So to strengthen the core, we're going to pull the belly button in, round the shoulders forward a little. You might even look at your knees. And then you're going to bring the chest up and release the belly. Let's do it again. Pull the belly in, round, and then release it. So this is our cat-cow in the chair. But it serves the purpose of strengthening our core. Not just the front of the belly, but when we round and stretch out the back, it also is strengthening these muscles on the opposite side of the body. One more. And then roll the shoulders back and down. Take your fingertips to your shoulders. We're going to lift one knee and bring the elbow towards that knee and lower it down. Again, working the core muscles right here, hip flexors, abs, and yes, the back muscles, so you can feel them too. Let's go on to the other side for 4. Wonderful. And release down. Well, here's our yoga sequence. You will recognize it. We inhale, we're reaching up, right? That's a transition. And then we're going to bring the hands down, lift one foot. Take the hands behind the thigh, draw that in, and make a circle with your big toe. And while that toe is circling, let's turn our heads over our shoulder. Bring our head back to front and circle the toes in the opposite direction. And then release it down. Let's try it on the left, nice and slow. We reach up, we lift the leg and bring the hands down, bring the knee in. Circle the toes, and then turn the head. And it doesn't matter which way you circle the toes, but turn your head towards that side of the body where the knee is lifted. And then bring it back to center and circle the toes in the other direction. And then release it. So we'll do it a little bit faster with a little more coordination. Inhale, exhale, inhale, turn the head, exhale. Bring the head back, inhale, circle the toes in the opposite direction. And then exhale it down. Other side. Exhale as you draw the knee in. Inhale, sit tall, turn the head. Bring the head back to center, circle. And as your next exhale, release the leg down. Inhale. Lengthen the ribs, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Turn. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, release. You can feel all these muscles we just strengthened being used in all of these poses. One more time on each side. Sit tall. Draw the knee in. Turn the head. Inhale back to center. Exhale and release. And release. Very nice. Lift the heels, lift the toes. Now you can repeat some of those things that we just did. I'm going to stand to show you some movements that you can do standing that also strengthen the muscles that we use in our transitions throughout the day. Here's our first one. Standing is a transition. I'm going to take my chair and put it off to the side. You can stand behind your chair here also. As a matter of fact, we're all going to just stand behind the chair and lift those heels again. Just feel how putting the weight into the ball of the foot, moving through the ankle now that it's nice and warm. And maybe we bring one hand up and then the other. Starting to work on our balance. If you're ready for it, let's bring both arms up, both heels up. Take a breath. Exhale and release them down. Beautiful. Step to one side, step to the other. Let's add the arms. We're reaching up, bringing it down. Reaching up, bringing it down. Let's reach in the other direction now. So we reach off and bring it down. Notice my feet. Notice how I'm lifting the foot that I'm moving away from a little bit, pushing off the ball of the foot. And pause. Roll the shoulders down your back. Now, we're going to come into chair pose. So I'll show it to you here. All it is push the booty back, bend the knees, and then come back and up. Now we're using inner thighs here, so you might have the feet a little closer together, and you might draw the belly in and up, and then push through the feet to stand. Adding the arms here alongside the ears, and then lifting them up overhead. Adding a little more transition here. Let's come into chair and hold for a moment. Take the arms down by our side. You might rest them on the chair. I'm going to push mine back and lift my heart forward. And then come forward again and rise into tall mountain. Just a little more movement in the upper body. On the next chair, we'll hold, lift one heel, lift the other. Notice gazing straight ahead keeps my body steady. Come up into tall mountain, reach, 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 and release it down. How did we do? Very nice. Let's thread the needles. So we're going to step back into our down dog. One hand out to the side, soft knees, take it across our body, and then reach up. Last one on this side, and we release it down and we go to the other side. One more. And then both hands on the chair. Let's lower our chest a little bit more, push our booty back, straighten our legs as much as possible. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, bend the knees, look towards your chair, step 1 foot forward, lifting the back heel into our lunge pose here. One arm can come up, both arms can come up. Inhale and lift, exhale, hands down. We're going to switch our weight to that back foot, step back into down dog. On the next exhale, step forward with the other foot, bend into that knee, lift the back heel, lunge pose. Exhale, hands down, weight into the back foot, place the foot down, step this foot back. Walk your dog here, shake it out. We'll do those transitions one more time. Here we go. Bend the knees, step 1 foot forward, bend that knee, lift the back heel, straightening the back leg. Once you have the feet and legs in place, bring the arms up. Exhale down, switch your weight into the back foot, step the front foot back again. Bend the knees, step the other foot forward, bend into that knee, lift the back heel. As you lift the back heel, the whole body comes up, nice and long. Exhale down, step back, and walk your dog. Walk your feet in a little bit and come to mountain pose. Now there's a beautiful transition between Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 that really uses our ankles, and we're going to practice that today. So we step 1 foot back and we put the whole foot down, turn it out at 45. Bend into the front knee, but keep your hips facing your chair. Arms can come up overhead. Now as you're here, just kind of anchor those feet down. Feel the strength of the earth rising upward. And then we'll bring the hands down as we make this transition to Warrior 2. Notice my back ankle. I lift the foot, pivot, and then open the body up into Warrior 2. Front knee is going towards the toes. And then we reach the arms in opposite directions, just like we did in the chair earlier. And then to come back to Warrior 1, we lift that back foot, pivot, and drop the heel down at a 45 again, Warrior 1. So let's make that transition again together. Bring the arms down, lift the back heel, pivot the foot, and then reach the arms in opposite directions, paying attention to that front knee. Breathe in, breathe out. And then inhale, lift the back heel, pivot to the front, and the arms come up overhead as you drop the back heel down. Inhale, lift, pivot, Warrior 2. Look out over your front hand. Hold it here for a moment. Reach those arms in opposite directions. Exhale, release, pivot towards your chair, and this time just step it into mountain. So we're going to do that all on the other side. So we'll step the foot back again, drop it down at a 45. Check in with your front knee, make sure it's right over the ankle, pressing down into the heel of that front foot. And then we lift the back heel, bring the hands down, pivot the foot, and open up the arms. Keep that front knee facing forward and reach the arms in opposite directions. And then lift the back heel, pivot again, drop the heel down, come into Warrior 1. Using core, lifting up through the pelvic muscles, lower abs, upper abs. Wrap the ribs forward a little bit. Lift, pivot, open. Warrior 2. Release the arms, pivot, drop the heel at 45, and come into Warrior 1. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pivot. Open the arms, reaching the arms in opposite directions. Exhale, soften, pivot the back foot. Inhale, and this time we're just going to step it forward into our mountain pose. And just take a few breaths here. Mountain. Resting the shoulders over the hips, hips over the ankles. And then when your breath has come back to its normal rhythm, we'll take a step out and just swing the arms side to side. Just be mindful of your chair here and your awareness of your environment. Good. And then we'll twist. Feet are nice and wide. We just look off to one center, lift the heel we're turning away from. Come on back. Lift the other heel. Working those ankles here. It's just natural that we need the flexibility of those ankles in our work in yoga and in our daily lives. And now maybe we reach and reach, getting a little more of the torso involved here. Maybe we reach high. One more. And then come to steadiness and heel toe the feet closer together, standing once again in our mountain pose. And then we'll bend the knees and straighten. Just a little bit of transition, a little squat here. And we could swing the arms as we do that. Maybe bring the elbows in and down and out. And then come to stillness and mountain. Turn the palms forward, turn the palms back. Beautifully done today. Lots of work in our practice today. One more, we're going to come into tree. So we start out putting our weight into one leg, turning the other knee out, and you could bring the ball of the foot close to the ankle, or you could rest it on the shin or on the upper thigh. I'm going to rest it here today and balance with my hands in front of my heart. Breathe. And then if you want, the arms can come up, lengthening the torso upward, but keep the chin tucked. And then we exhale and release it down. Let's try it on the other side. And release. And then once again, step side to side, just transitioning our weight from one foot to the other. And then come to stillness one more time. Inhale the hands up, stretch out to one side, stretch out to the other. So by doing some of these things standing, we can feel the connections between the lower body and the upper body, and especially those core muscles. But let's come back into the chair as we close out our class today by transitioning into the chair and out of the chair. Notice that the body leans just a little forward, not a whole lot, and we push into the feet, squeeze our booty as we come up, and then lower ourselves back down. Tighten the front part of your abs to sit back down. One more time. How many times a day do you do that? And the idea behind practicing is to lower yourself as softly as you can. Stay here and let's take a couple breaths. Resting your hands on your thighs, shoulders down your back. Just notice your body. Notice the feet on the floor, shoulders over your hips, and the touch of your hands on your thighs. Take a few more breaths. And you might even close your eyes so that you can sense the breathing coming back to its natural state. And when you're there, you'll bring the hands together and rub them, hovering them over the eyes. Take a nice deep breath and now sigh it out. As you open the eyes and bring the hands down. So let me know how you're doing with your transitions in your daily life or even in your yoga practice. Thank you so much for joining me today.